And a so-called dreamer accused of smuggling immigrants into the U.S.
Good evening. Border Patrol agents in New Mexico arrested a man who they say has protected immigration status, also known as a dreamer, after he was caught smuggling people into the U.S.
Despite the arrest, at least one local group continues to defend New Mexico's dreamers. News 13's Chris McKee spoke to them today.
Jessica and Dean, one advocate we spoke with says the arrest shouldn't taint people's opinions of all other dreamers.
We will hold our elected officials accountable.
Arguing for immigrants, a crowd of more than 100 went in front of city councilors tonight,
with the immigrant community being targeted and persecuted,
all pushing support for a resolution to make Albuquerque an immigrant-friendly city.
I am struggling with my immigration status every single day.
But meanwhile, the feds are also making their case clear about what they say a dreamer is accused of doing in southern New Mexico. In a news release, the feds say last Monday, near Rodeo, New Mexico, southwest of Lordsburg, they pulled over a suspicious car and found a DACA recipient behind the wheel. Border Patrol says there were 3 passengers who readily admitted to having entered the country illegally, and that the driver would receive a payment for getting them in the U.S. Reading news today of the dreamer's arrest in New Mexico.
I think it's very unfortunate and very unfair to put out a press release like that.
Latino advocate Ralph Arianes feels the Border Patrol's arrest announcement is overtly political.
Because it right away slams the door on all DACA students. Just because 1 or 2 people, that isolated incidents again, doesn't mean that all DACA students are doing a bad thing.
Like many others supporting immigrants, Arianes is hoping federal lawmakers will address the program's future soon.
Over 85% of Americans want a permanent solution for DACA students.
President Trump set a March 5th deadline for lawmakers to deal with the so-called DREAM Act, but since that date has passed, there is no word on what's next for the program or the people in it. Jessica?
All right, thank you, Chris. Around 7,000 dreamers are said to be living in New Mexico, less than 1% of the 800,000 dreamers nationwide.